Clark, hammer. That's
Reese is being reviewed for a possible upgrade to a flavor.
What happens when the face of the league can't even face the basket? What happens when all the glitz, glam, and glitter of TikTok stardom crashes head-on into the cold hardwood floor of reality? You get a story like this. Angel Reese, the once celebrity prodigy of women's basketball, suspended by her own team. Not rested, not rotated, suspended. And not just for poor play, for turning every Chicago Sky game into a blooper reel with bonus commentary from fans who've just about had it.
I think it'll be upgraded here. And, you know, she gets a really hard.
This isn't just a story about missed layups or abysmal shooting percentages. No, this is a story about expectations, branding gone rogue, locker room tension, and how the WNBA's most talked about player has turned into the most walked over one. You wanted drama? You got it. Let's dig into the satirical tragedy that is Angel Reese's WNBA journey, from the billboards to the bench, and now, quite literally, to nowhere.
Hi, I'm Andrew Levin, host of the Reese Media. Last year, you made a powerful statement saying the reason people are watching.
Just a year ago, Angel Reese stood atop the mountain, the face of a new generation, the Bayou Barbie icon, hailed as a breath of fresh air in women's basketball. Flashy, loud, confident, she had the media spinning in loops of praise, the brands tossing cash like confetti, and the league touting her as their messiah. ESPN couldn't get enough of her. TikTok hailed her like she just invented the sport, and the Sky front office sold her to fans as the second coming of Lisa Leslie.
Basketball is not just because of one player, but because of you too. A year later, do you feel like you're...
Next question.
And now, her suspension isn't even controversial. It's expected. If anything, fans are wondering what took so long. The Chicago Sky, a franchise already known for their struggles, had been clinging to hope like it was a rebound in the fourth quarter, just out of reach. They gave Reese the keys to the car, and she promptly drove it into a ditch, blindfolded. This isn't a skid, it's a full-blown explosion, and the league is watching.
Move on. Thank you. Move on to Zoom. ESPN. Please don't be...
Her current average of 8 points a game would be forgivable if it weren't for her horrifying shooting percentage that hovers somewhere south of 31%. To put that in perspective, that's the kind of stat that makes you question if someone is shooting at the correct basket. Fans have joked that she's actually allergic to layups. Others claim she's secretly sponsored by Spalding, given how often she hands the ball back to the other team.
Angel, another game, another double-digit loss, and another game where you shot like the corpse of my grandma, 3 for 11.
But let's not pretend this is new. The warning signs have been there all season long. The Sky are a dismal 310, and those 3 wins? Flukes, accidents, unrepeatable miracles. The losses, on the other hand, are consistent. In fact, they've been losing by an average of nearly 13 points per game. That's not just losing. That's getting humiliated, repeatedly, with no end in sight. Meanwhile, Angel Reese walks into games like she's filming a Gatorade ad. Hair laid, lashes flawless, confidence unshaken, right until the ball gets tipped. Then suddenly she's lost, bewildered, confused, like someone who just stumbled into a calculus final thinking it was lunch break. And the fans? They've gone from hopeful to hostile. Chicago Sky faithful once chanted her name. Now they chant for her to be benched. Social media is a battlefield of memes, and every game adds fuel to the fire. A missed layup becomes a TikTok trend. A turnover turns into a Twitter roast. The once beloved player has become a viral punchline.
Even from the field with 3 turnovers, I placed a trade on Kalshi for Atlanta to win today because every game against you is a...
But let's talk about the narrative for a second, because this isn't just about basketball. This is about images, this is about hype. Reese wasn't just promoted, she was paraded. She didn't just have fans, she had followers. Over 1 million of them. That's more than the Chicago Sky's entire attendance numbers from the last 3 seasons combined. But all the likes and filters can't hide the truth anymore. The truth is, Angel Reese was never ready for the spotlight she was given. Her brand outpaced her game. She was a storyline before she was a star, a headline before she was a highlight. The league wanted a face so badly they ignored the fundamentals. They banked on buzz and ended up with a bust. The suspension, let's be clear, isn't a fluke. It's a message from the team, from the coach, and from the front office. They're tired. Tired of the excuses, tired of the fan backlash, tired of pretending the emperor has clothes. The fact that a 6-foot forward is getting blocked more than Caitlin Clark, a 6-foot guard, is a tragedy in itself. Reese's block percentage sits at a laughable 0.5%. That's not just bad, that's historically bad. Clark, meanwhile, is clocking in at 2.4%, swatting shots like she moonlights as a volleyball player.
Guaranteed win. So thanks to you, I'm finally on my way to become a millionaire. You're making me a lot of money.
The comparison hurts even more when you realize how desperate Reese has been for All-Star votes. She's practically begging fans online to cast votes, while Clark is leading with over 500,000. Reese barely scrapes 173,000. That's over 340,000 people looking at both players and saying, nah, we're good. But what really sealed the deal wasn't just her stat, it was her attitude. Reese went from charismatic to careless. Instead of working on her jumper, she was curating her Instagram. Instead of extra reps, it was extra reels. She cared more about keeping her followers than keeping possession of the ball. Head coach Tyler Marsh had to come out and say, her offensive role just isn't working. That coach said, she's trash. Subtle, sure, but clear. Marsh isn't blind. He sees what the fans see. Someone who walks into the gym looking like a superstar but plays like a summer camp trainee.
Congrats on your 19 me bounds, by the way. But when is this clown show going to end, Angel? Do you have any damn shame shooting?
What's worse, Reese doubled down. She tried to spin her own narrative. I'm the reason people watch, she insisted. Maybe true for a while. But now, people tune in for the comedy. She's not driving viewership, she's driving people to the exits. At $16, 0 cents a ticket, even that feels like a scam. And now the league is embarrassed. This was their golden goose, the one who was going to take the WNBA mainstream. Now they can't even feature her in highlight reels without being laughed off the timeline. Reese has become a cautionary tale, proof that not every star shines on the court. Her fall from grace isn't dramatic, it's humiliating. It's the equivalent of tripping over your own shoelaces during a victory lap. The very team that sold her as their franchise savior has now hit the brakes so hard, the wheels come off. The bench isn't a reset, it's an exile.
Concert dates every game on nothing but layups. Thank you, Sid.
I actually shot a very good percentage today, 27.
And what's next? Maybe she goes to another team. Maybe she dials back the TikToks. Maybe she relearns the basics of how to shoot a basketball. Maybe. But redemption stories take work, and the jury's still out on whether she's willing to put in that work. So far, all we've seen is excuses, filters, and hashtags. Meanwhile, the league quietly shifts its attention to Caitlin Clark. She's everything Reese pretended to be. Skilled, reliable, grounded. Fans adore her, teammates respect her, and the league is watching her dominate. She doesn't need to tell people she's the face of women's basketball. Her game does that. But let's not forget the damage Reese's downfall has caused. The Sky are a joke, the fans are furious, and the league's credibility took a hit. When hype outweighs performance, this is the result. And unless things change, this won't be the last time a future of the league gets suspended for playing like a confused gym teacher.
I love Haley. I love her family. You'll see her dad a lot. I love her dad too, so I'm just super excited for her to be.
So here we are, Angel Reese, once the queen of the court, now reduced to side chatter and sarcastic tweets. This is what happens when branding trumps basketball. This is what happens when a player's highlight reel consists of missed layups and awkward turnovers. And to anyone still holding out hope, remember this. Redemption isn't given, it's earned. If Reese wants to salvage her career, she's got to ditch the drama, hit the gym, and remind the world why she was ever worth watching. Because right now, she's just a meme with a jersey number. The Sky's decision to bench Angel Reese didn't just rattle one player, it shook the entire locker room. Veterans who once rallied behind her now whisper in hushed tones, questioning whether any of their voices still matter. The energy in practice has shifted from focused intensity to a brittle tension, as if everyone is holding their breath, waiting for the next headline. Coaches scrambled to rework offensive sets that were tailor-made for Reese's style, but now lack a clear centerpiece. Young players who looked up to her swagger find themselves adrift without that polarizing example. The team's chemistry, once touted as their secret weapon, now feels like a fragile promise on the verge of collapse.
In the right place, and I tell players all the time, like, it's about fit. Her being under Sloot, like, that's the best thing that she could.
Off the court, sponsors have begun to rethink their partnerships. Brands once eager to slap Reese's logo on their products are quietly pulling back, opting instead for safer, more reliable faces of the league. Endorsement money flows where performance is proven, not where hype once dominated. This sudden chill in corporate interest serves as a brutal reminder. In professional sports, transaction follows traction. Without consistent results, even the flashiest deals lose their shine. For Reese, this means that every failed jumper isn't just a lost point, it's a potential lost contract. Meanwhile, the broader WNBA narrative has shifted in ways few anticipated. Commentators who once praised Reese's marketability now dissect every fragment of her game film with cold precision. Their tone has moved from celebratory to skeptical, as if they're asking, how did we get this so wrong? Debates rage over whether the league should prioritize raw talent over raw numbers. Some argue that the WNBA's future relies on athletic excellence, not social media metrics. Others counter that without stars who draw viewers, the sport will stagnate. But in the wake of Reese's suspension, both sides agree on one thing: balance is critical.
That could be possible for her too. So I'm just really excited to play with her. And I told Jeff, like, during the process, I was.
Historically, the WNBA has seen its share of high-profile suspensions and benchings. Legends like Sue Bird and Tamika Catchings faced tough stretches, but they never lost the trust of their teams. They earned patience through relentless work, relentless improvement, and relentless results. Reese, by contrast, seemed to expect a longer grace period without the corresponding on-court growth. Now, her situation is compared to those who persevered through adversity and lost. The contrast is stark and unforgiving. Where past stars responded to criticism by refining their craft, Reese's response has so far appeared defensive and deflective. From a psychological standpoint, the pressure cooker surrounding Reese has reached a critical point. The mental demands of elite sport are fierce, but add national scrutiny and the weight becomes crushing. Every missed shot echoes on social media, bouncing back at her through memes, tweets, and relentless commentary. Even supportive teammates have grown weary of fielding curt post-game interviews. Reese's confidence, once her greatest asset, now teeters on the brink of fragility. Experts warn that without a strong support system, gifted athletes can quickly unravel when the spotlight turns cold.
Like, if you want a dog, go get Haley. And I kept telling them that. And you can see her grit. You can see how hard she works. She's one of the first to get in the gym and one of the last to leave.
At the same time, the suspension puts the Sky front office under its own intense spotlight. Executives who championed Reese's signing must now defend their gamble to anxious fans and skeptical analysts. Each public statement becomes a minefield. Express too much faith in Reese and you look naive. Express too little and you betray your own investment. The fine line between accountability and abandonment grows thinner by the day. As rumors swirl of potential roster overhauls, one thing is clear: the Sky's leadership will be judged by how they navigate this storm. Fans expect transparency, but they may not handle the truth. Speculation about Reese's future in Chicago has ignited trade rumors that echo through rumor mills and sports talk shows alike. Which contender would dare take on her contract and accompanying baggage? Teams with championship aspirations often avoid headline-grabbing players whose off-court brand overshadows their on-court contributions. Yet some see value in Reese's raw physical tools and untapped potential. A mid-season trade could offer her a fresh start, free from the weight of expectations in a hockey-crazed city. But a trade also risks turning her into a symbol of desperation rather than redemption.
Hey Angel, I'm just curious, do you know what your first fit is gonna be or look like? Do you have it planned out already? Yeah. Can you tell us anything about it?
We going Poochie.
Beyond trades, the possibility of a deeper organizational shift looms. Should the Sky stick with their current coaching staff, or is a clean slate needed? Could new leadership instill the discipline and structure missing from Reese's season? Front offices rarely admit failure, but the chorus for change grows louder. The idea of bringing in a veteran coach known for player development gains traction among some analysts. Still, stability often breeds better long-term results than constant upheaval. Deciding between patience and overhaul represents one of the toughest calls the Sky will make this year. While professional consequences mount, Reese's personal brand has taken a steep downturn. Social media sentiment flipped from adoration to derision almost overnight. Where once every post garnered praise, now threads of criticism snake under every photo. Even casual fans who barely follow the WNBA feel emboldened to voice their opinions. Online forums buzz with debates over whether her image can recover. Some argue that a single viral turnaround performance could restore goodwill, but most concede that the road to redemption is long and narrow.
I don't think Angel should be criticized at all. No matter which way it goes, she should never be criticized for what she did. I think everybody knew there was going to be a little trash talk in the entire tournament. It's not just me and Angel. So, like I said,
if you're as fascinated by this spiraling basketball soap opera as we are, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below. Do you think Angel Reese can bounce back, or is this the final whistle for Bayou Barbie? Stay tuned for all the hot takes, court drama, and behind-the-scenes madness that makes the WNBA worth watching.